Okay, so today in the DynoMax Garage, what we're going to do is we're going to install this system, what we call an axle back system, on a 2010 Camaro, our 6.2 liter V8 2010 Camaro. And the reason this is an axle back system is we're actually going to use the OE pipes from the cat all the way back to the axle. It comes up over the top, and then we're going to cut off the stock mufflers and then replace them with these DynoMax Ultra Flo welded mufflers, some of the highest flowing mufflers in the industry. So here's what your kit is. We want to lay it out, make sure we've got everything. We've got 4 clamps, 2 extension tubes, 2 Ultra Flo welded mufflers, and 2 fantastic looking tips. So next we're going to go over to the Camaro and do some sound checks as it is today, and then do a sound check again once we've put these babies on. So the first part of the instructions tell you to measure out 14 inches of pipe on the factory OE exhaust, make your mark, and go ahead and cut there. Well, measuring 14 inches with a typical tape measure can get a little cumbersome because these things don't bend very easily. So just a little tip, I went ahead and pre-measured a 14-inch piece of, this is speaker wire. You can use yarn, you can use string, or what have you, just to make sure you get the right cut. And then go ahead and measure back from the welds on your OE system, kind of following the same contour on the pipe. And it gets you about right here, which looks like there's a nice factory crease in the system. So I'm going to take my Sharpie, go ahead and measure that off. Now I've got this side. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. We'll go get our protective eyewear on, our gloves, our Sawzall, and get started. Okay, so now that we have our cuts done, we're just going to put a little WD-40 on these rubber bushings. So there's one down here, and there's actually 2 up on top of the OE muffler on both sides. To make that a little easier, we'll just go ahead and shoot that with a little WD-40, and they should pop right off. So here's what we've got. We're going to replace your OE system that we just took off right here with that DynoMax axle back system. And as you can see, so far we're about 10 running minutes into this. And this is going to be a real simple and easy bolt-on. We've got 4 AccuSeal clamps. Those are just going to go ahead and tie this tube to the stock OE tube. And then to the muffler, we'll go ahead and put these guys into the bushings, fire this up, and see what it sounds like. So just in case you left any burrs, we'll go ahead and take all those off with the metal file. So we've got a nice clean system to start out with. So now that we have everything slip fitted on, we're going to go ahead and take our 15mm socket hit them on the band clamps, and then we're all finished. All right. So one final adjustment before we go ahead and tighten up our band clamps, or we just want to make sure that the tip fits nice and centered on both sides. So we'll go ahead and adjust that now, get it set, and then go ahead and tighten the clamps, and then it should hold nice and strong. So now you see what it looks like in the air. You know, nice burly Ultra Flo welded mufflers, finished off with some very nice looking chrome tips, double wall chrome tips. So we're going to put this thing on the ground and show you what it sounds like in the most important position, which is fired up and on. Well, the sound we've all been waiting for. So now we got this baby on the ground. We cannot wait to get it out of this garage, get on the road, and hear what it sounds like at 65 miles an hour roaring down the road. We think from the sound clips, this has got some head-turning capabilities coming on. So we had about 30 minutes of running time into this with our nice lift and power tools. So if you're in your garage doing it on your own, give yourself 45 minutes, maybe an hour by the time you polish the tips up nice and clean. So thanks for tuning in to this series of the DynoMax Performance Garage. Hope to see you next time. Thanks.